Okay, so continuing on with wet media, our next media experimentation is going to be water soluble graphite. Soluble means to dissolve. I'm not sure if I spelled that correctly. Live with it. But water-soluble graphite is exactly what it sounds like. Graphite is like your normal pencil. Water-soluble graphite looks like a normal pencil, but you can actually activate it with water, and it will turn into essentially ink. So here's how you go. We're going to do a little thing right here. First off, what you're going to need is water-soluble graphite, either in pencil form or graphite stick form. Both work. I will show you a little bit of both today. The pencils also do the same thing that a normal graphite pencil does, which is it has different ratings, 2B, HB, 4B, 6B, 4H, all that. Most of the time, I find that it doesn't really matter which one that I use. So I'm just going to stick with a B pencil for now. This one is a 2B. But for the most part, they all operate similarly, so no biggie. All right. Just like any other material, I'm going to do my Sharpie stuff first before I get it wet or anything like that. If the Sharpie bleeds, the Sharpie bleeds. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just draw and shade like normal, as if I don't have to worry about the water-soluble portion at all. I'm going to do a couple of these value scales. This one with the regular pencil form, and then this one with the stick form. As you might imagine, the stick form is just a little bit more unwieldy. It's rather chunky and it can be a little bit harder to control, which is why a lot of the time using the regular pencil one is more comfortable. But if you need to cover a large area all at once, really nothing beats that. So we live with it. While it is in this form, you can do all the normal erasing and things I would show you, but my eraser's dead. But you can erase it, you can change it, you can do all the normal pencil things with it. You can you can't really smear it like normal pencil, but other than that, everything works. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a brush, just a regular brush, clean brush, and some plain water, nothing fancy about it. I'm gonna dip it in there. And I'm going to work from light to dark. And what you're going to see is that the graphite itself starts turning into paint. This does leave some excess on my brush, so I can come and do some other little bits here and there as needed. And the same thing happens with my stick. So again, you see that there's really no difference by the time you're done. The stick form did get a little bit darker, probably because it was a darker B than the one I used. All of that's hunky-dory fine. So what you want to do on your paper is to practice what you generally practice, some mark making. You want mark making like this where you're using the excess. You want mark making like this where you're on an area. And see how that works out for you. If you can get larger areas more smooth, things like that, do some experimentation, see if that works for you. Or if maybe you need to solve that using some other material. It's good to know if that'll work for you or not. You might try mark making like this, where you're making some marks with your pencil and seeing exactly how far you can smudge that with a clean water brush, etc. Just play around for a good 5-10 minutes, see how it looks for you. The end result of these paintings tend to look much like watercolor paintings, but of course black and white only.